So Arizona, since the federal government totally fails to secure the border, desperately then passed laws to protect its own people. The law is supported by 70% of the people in Arizona, 60% of all Americans, and 50% of all Hispanics, according to the Wall Street Journal NBC poll done just this week. And I understand that you may file a lawsuit against the law. It seems to me the administration ought to be enforcing border security and immigration laws and not challenge them, and that the administration is on the wrong side of the American people.
I think the Arizona law has the potential of being applied in a discriminatory fashion.
However, I strongly disagree with the recently adopted law in Arizona. It is a law that not only ignores a reality that cannot be erased by decree, but also introduces a terrible idea using racial profiling as a basis for law enforcement. And that is why I agree with the President who said the new law carries a great amount of risk when core values that we all care about are breached. I don't want to deepen the gap between the feelings and emotions between our countries and our peoples. I believe in bridge. I believe in communication. I believe in cooperation. We must find together a better way to face and fix this common problem.
It gives the possibility of individuals who are deemed suspicious of being illegal immigrants from being harassed or arrested, and the judgments that are going to be made in applying this law are troublesome. What I've directed my Justice Department to do is to look very carefully at the language of this law.
Have you read the Arizona law?
I have not had a chance to. I've glanced at it. I have not read it.
It's 10 pages. It's a lot shorter than the health care bill, which was 2,000 pages long. I'll give you my copy of it if you would like to have a copy. Even though you haven't read the law, do you have an opinion as to whether it's constitutional?
I've not been briefed yet. We, as I said, have had underway a review of the law. I have not been briefed by the people who are responsible for that review.
Are you going to read the law?
I'm sure I will read the law in anticipation of that briefing. I know that they will put that in front of me, and I'll spend a good evening reading that law.
Well, I've gone through it, and it's pretty simple. It takes the federal law and makes it, enacts it in a state statute, although makes it much more refined in that it actually says in one of the sections, no state or subdivision may consider race, color, national origin in implementing the requirements of any subsection of this law. Seems to outlaw racial profiling in the law. I know there's been a lot of media hype about the legislation.
Under the Mexican law, illegal immigration is a felony, punishable by up to 2 years in prison. Immigrants who are deported and attempt to re-enter can be imprisoned for 10 years. Visa violators can be sentenced to 6-year terms. Mexicans who help illegal immigrants are considered criminals.
We are trying to establish our own comprehensive public policy, talking about, for instance, immigrants coming from Central America.
So people want to come from Guatemala or Honduras or El Salvador or Nicaragua. They want to just come into Mexico. They can just walk in?
No, they need to fulfill a form. They need to establish their right name. We analyze if they have not criminal precedents, and they coming into Mexico. Actually,
do Mexican police go around asking for papers of people they suspect are illegal immigrants?
Of course, in the border, we are asking the people, who are you? And if they explain
At the border, I understand when they come in, but once they're in,
but not in. If once they are inside the country, what the Mexican police do is, of course, enforce the law.
I believe it mandates and requires local law enforcement or puts them in a position many do not want to be placed in.
The President of the United States portrayed it as that someone can't even go out for ice cream without being harassed, which is one of the more outrageous statements I've ever heard. And now our own Attorney General has, after condemning the law, said that he hadn't even read it.